Don't be shy, 'cause life won't bring you down too far.
Oscar Bevis for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. I'm here at MTK's Fight Bubble. In your manner, what sort of your manner? Yorkshire way, should we say Yorkshire way?
50 minutes, I think it took me about. I set off, it says get here no later than 10. So I thought, right, I'm coming from Bradford, M62, M1 might be bad. I set off at 8, I think I got here for about 9. I thought, oh, I'm early. So then I spoke to him and they went, once you get your test, that's it. Straight to your room, and my trainer wasn't here. So I was sat in the car till about 10:30 waiting for him.
That's a big mistake because you want to leave the test as late as possible so you're not imprisoned.
Once you have that done, like once you get the test done, you bang, straight in your room. It was alright for the first couple hours, and then I went to sleep. But I brought a PlayStation, so I was alright. I brought a PlayStation and then I was alright on that. And then it got to like 8, 9, I thought, right, I'm bored now. And then today obviously we can go for a walk and stuff like that, so it's not too bad.
That was the right move, bringing a PlayStation. There's only so many friends and come dine with me you can watch on the hotel TV. Liam Taylor, I spoke to him about 10 minutes ago, and I was there in Birmingham as well, when he was distraught. He felt like he was seconds away from becoming British champion. Probably a stupid question to ask, but when he's had that experience and that disappointment, he's going to come prepared and he's going to come determined anyway. But is this going to be like an extra determined Liam Taylor?
Possibly. I mean, you could flip it though. You could flip it that does he feel like he's been outdone by not getting an immediate rematch, and then he's been put in with a hungry, unbeaten fighter who's never really had a chance. You know, I've never really, by the Mason Cartwright fight, I never really got a chance, and then even after that, the other chances never came. So you could look at it 50 million ways. You know, he's going to come, he's going to want to win, of course, he's going to want that British title. But, you know, he's got to beat me first, and I don't think he's going to do it.
I want to go back to the time when you fought Mason Cartwright, obviously on the Warrington undercard in Yorkshire. You'd had big support there. You picked up the WBO European. You were with Frank at the time. People who aren't too knowledgeable in your career and your journey might look at that and think, how can it go from winning the WBO European, perhaps never defending it and never getting these opportunities? So do you sort of want to enlighten us as to why these last few years, perhaps, not that you've been frozen out, but why you haven't had the opportunities that, you know, winning the WBO European suggests you would deserve?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously thought the opportunities were going to come, and for some reason they literally never did. I remember we was offered the Johnny Gart and Gary Corcoran winner. So they said, would you take that? And we said, well, of course we would, you know, for the British title, well, why wouldn't we? And then I think it was like 2 weeks after they offered it, about 3 weeks before they fought, they rung back, oh no, the date we give you is too soon, so forget that fight. I think we was offered Skeet, we accepted that, oh no, never mind, that's off. You know, the chances never came, and then I got a ticket deal fight in Bradford against William Warburton, and they rung the week before the Warburton fight. They rung and said, will you defend it against Temuka Mucha, which was the week after the Warburton fight, but it was like a Monday night. So, but at the time I'd done like 10 grand worth of tickets for Bradford, so I was like, well, I've done all these tickets. Otherwise, people who's been on ticket deals like, oh no, I deliver it myself. I don't have anyone to do it for me. I'm driving around delivering every single ticket. So I said to my trainer, I said, well, I'll do both. I said, I'll fight Warburton that day, and then the week and 2 days after, I'll go to London and fight Temuka for 10 rounds. I said, that's not a problem. Then for some reason I wasn't allowed. So I said, well, surely like you'd think, not that I'm a world champion, but like as the champion, you'd think you'd get a bit more notice than, I think it was like 2 week notice or something, like for a 10 rounder, when they knew we was on a 6 round, we were having a 6 rounder. So I said, well, I'll stick to Bradford then. I said, and they was like, yeah, that's fine, no problem. We'll get you something after Christmas, because obviously this was November time. So I said, yeah, that's fine. Then after Christmas, I remember seeing Mason Cartwright's tweet saying he was fighting for the WBO European. I was like, what? Like, it's under my bed. How's that happening? Rung Mick, my manager, and he said, yeah, they've stripped us. And then the chances never came. So yeah, I don't know.
That must have been, I don't know, like a bit surreal actually seeing that and then realising the belt was under your bed. Yeah. Sorry, it's been a while, so my arm's aching using the mic, so I'm going to move in here. So yeah, obviously that will happen, and I actually heard about a story which I'll ask you about before, the week of the Mason Cartwright fight as well. You actually went to your granddad's funeral on the day of the weigh-in, so to say that even when you've had your big opportunity, there's been, not hurdles, but it's been tough mentally for you as well. So, yeah, I mean, do you want to just talk us through that if you don't mind?
Yeah, so I think it was, I can't think of the exact date, like it was a 2-3 week before the Cartwright fight. My granddad was poorly, we knew. 2-3 weeks passed away, but my granddad was like my biggest fan, like massive fan of mine. So obviously at the time I had family and loads of people saying pull out the fight, don't do it. I said, look, it's 3 weeks to go, like I've got to do it. So I pushed it to the back of my mind, never really thought about, well, tried not thinking about it. And I remember as the weeks were going by, like, because my granddad had a thing that he wanted his funeral on a Friday. So I think that's because half the family love a drink, so they could all just drink and get pissed. So like as weeks were going by, I mean, like the first Friday come, it wasn't then. The second Friday come, it wasn't then. And I remember saying to my wife, I said, the funeral's going to land on the weigh-in. I said, I just know it is. I said, and then my auntie rang and she said, yeah, the funeral's that day. And I thought, oh, but I was more stressing that because it was the weigh-in day, I had to wear a tracksuit to the funeral because I was carrying the coffin, but then literally the funeral I think was like 11 till 12 and then the weigh-in started at 1. So like I was carrying the coffin in a tracksuit, worrying about what everyone's going to say to me. Then shot to the weigh-in, weighed in, and tried not thinking about it, but I thought it was a brilliant idea to have one of his funeral songs as my entrance song. I thought that would be a fucking amazing idea. What a fucking idiot I was for doing that. What an idiot. So I mean, not many people know this, but obviously IFL's got a lot of viewers, so everyone will see it now. But I've done a few interviews that know. But walking to the ring, I had his song, and I was fine. And then the song like kicked in, and as I got in the ring, I started crying. I was like, oh shit. So like, I put my head down, not like bursting into tears, but I could feel myself crying. I thought, oh no, stop. So I like got in the corner, put my head down, and tried stopping crying. So I was crying 5 minutes before the fight started. But it was just one of them things I had to fight. We kept his ticket, we kept his seat empty. And then obviously I had to win it from him. And then anyone who's seen the fight will see afterwards the emotion just sort of hit me then. And then I didn't really grieve. I think still now, like there's sometimes still now I think about it and stuff. And I remember about 2-3 weeks after, I think I was just sat at home or sat in bed and burst out crying, like, and because then obviously it hit me then. So but yeah, like that was hard. But that's how I know I've got a strong mental side, and obviously doing that is one thing, and then obviously pulling the fight out the bag like I did is another thing. So I know I've got what it takes to turn a fight around, or dig deep if it gets hard, because nothing will be harder than that, I don't think.
Yeah, like the mental toughness that you had to show. I mean, something as you go through your career you can carry. So.
That's the thing. Nobody knew. Like, it wasn't like it was out there. Like, I went to the weigh-in and not one person knew. I remember driving to the weigh-in and like looking in the mirror, my eyes was bloodshot, and I was like trying to wipe them and just calm my eyes down. So then when I got there, it didn't look like I'd been crying. But yeah, so I know the mental toughness. You speak to many people, and maybe a lot of people will say that they could do it, but until you're in that situation, you don't really know how hard it is and whether you can do it or not. But I had to do it.
And got the win for your granddad, who you said was your biggest fan. But yeah, and then I know that you started fighting in, was that Bradford Park Hotel, wasn't it? You had a couple of fights there, and yeah, and now you've got the big opportunity. You've got big opportunity again. suppose I should be itching to not let it go to waste.
Yeah, so obviously I got the opportunity to do a Cartwright fight and didn't do anything for the first half of the fight. And then, really had to bite down. But, this time, there's been no distractions, not that that's an excuse for the Cartwright fight, but, there's just everything that could go well has gone well. And, I'll do an interview with you tomorrow regardless of the result, and I'll say the exact same thing. Everything's gone well. I've done everything right. I've stuck to the diet like I should. I've, even after the weigh-in, I'm doing what I've been told, and I'm just like fully confident that I'm gonna do a job on Liam tomorrow. And that's no disrespect to him. It's going to be a big ask, but I just think I've got what it takes to pull it off.
Yeah, I can tell that you two boys, you respect each other as well. There is obviously, I don't know, I'd say, is there a little bit more to this? Not in terms of with you two, but the fact that regardless of whether you win and become mandatory or get a shot at the British title, the division is just so spicy. Like, it's full of people calling each other out. So if you put a show on tomorrow, you stop Liam, you get a spectacular knockout that goes a little bit viral, people are all seeing this, then people might go, I'm going to call him out.
I've never had a spectacular knockout in my career, so I don't think that's going to happen. I can hope. The Mason Cartwright fight only went viral because of his lip. I don't think I'm going to pull a right hook out the stands and do a job, but I get what you mean. It's a massive performance, and I guarantee, win or lose, one of us will get called out after tomorrow. That seems, especially with the climate and what's going on, everyone just wants to fight. So they're obviously going to call out the people who's in the crowd. Like, you just had the young lad on, the fella on before me. Yeah, he was buzzing. Like, he's walking around this place. He can't wait. So you're obviously going to have fighters who's also on the smaller shows that are going to start calling people out who's on massive shows like this. So, but can you start looking past that? I can't look past Taylor, obviously, but even me personally, and whether it's on camera or not, I don't think the winner of me and Taylor will get the straight British title shot. I don't think we'll.
Do you mean you won't get the shot next, or do you feel like you'll get it, but it won't be next? Yeah.
It won't be next. I don't think it'll be next, because you got a lot of talk of Jenkins and Conor Benn fighting. So me and Taylor fight tomorrow. So does that means if Conor Benn fight isn't made, me and Taylor will be mandatory, so we should get the next fight. I don't know how it all works, but I think they'll fight Ben. He'll fight Ben first, and whoever wins. If Jenkins wins, I reckon if Jenkins wins, there's probably a bigger chance of getting it than if Ben wins. That's what I think. Not because none of them will want to fight. I just think the way it works, they might go a different path, or will Ben win it and vacate it and move on. You just never know. But I don't think we'll get it this year. Definitely not this year. And I don't think it'll be early next year either. So I'm hoping to be out probably before that as well.
Yeah, the current climate could potentially work in your favour, in the fact that we know that Eddie and Frank have said they want to sort of get fighters on each other's shows and sort of try and cross the platform as much as possible for the fans. And that wasn't something that was going to happen with Eddie's fight camp or Frank's studio show. So I suppose the longer this goes on, we might not see Jenkins Ben till next year. So you never know. The winner of this could go. Let's send Jenkins out in November against you or Liam.
Yeah. Obviously you look at then and see who. Obviously, me and Liam are willing to fight behind closed doors. Jenkins and Ben haven't yet. So like you say, you could get one of them might say, well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to fight behind closed doors, so I'm waiting. If that's the case for Ben, if Ben says I'm not interested in fighting behind closed doors and Jenkins is, then yeah, you could get the fight. However, if both of them are willing to fight behind closed doors, what's to say they won't make another one of them? I know fight camp matchroom went well, so they might look at doing another one of them. But I think it's all ifs and buts and who's going to fight who. And for me, I'm just going to fight and hopefully keep winning and just beat whoever's put in front of me. But I definitely want that British title.
That is the most boxing sort of, the way you said it there, nail on the head, and boxing is so ifs and buts. Like, the reason I suppose even our channel's successful is because we talk to people about the ifs and buts. Who are you going to fight? What's this? Who are you going to call out? Etc. Just before I let you go, 'cause we're hitting on the 15-minute mark. Prediction for tomorrow. I know you're going to tell me that you're going to win. You said it's not going to be a right hook from the gods or whatever. But yeah, how does it play out, and how do you beat Liam?
I'm going to beat him how he said he's going to beat me. I'm going to stop him late. That's what I think. I know that's what he said. He said I start fast and I'll slow down. I don't think he's seen the Mason Cartwright fight because I didn't do a thing in the first half. That was not intentional, like, but I just think style and hunger and, you know, I believe. Listen, I'm not gonna lie and say I'll hit someone and chin them and knock them out and in glorious fashion like Povetkin and White. That's not me. I wish it was, but it's not. But I believe I hit hard enough to hurt them and to make them think. And I believe I hit harder than I look, if that makes sense. So I think when they get in with me, it's a little bit of a shock. But listen, it's going to be a grueling fight. And the one thing I can predict about this fight is this may well be a contender for Fight of the Year, I think. I think it's going to turn out into one of them fights. But I do believe I'll stop him late.
Well, it's a belting card, few belting fights in there. So yeah, everyone tune in and good luck. And I'm sure, like you said, regardless of what happens tomorrow, you'll catch up with you after.
Yeah, I'll have a chat with you. No matter. I'm going to get a curry as well. And win or lose, that's what's going to happen. But hopefully the curry will taste better if I win, I think. So yeah, I'll catch up with you tomorrow.